On this trade deal, we're joined by Liu Baocheng. He's the founder and director of the Center for International Business Ethics at the University of International Business and Economics. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Michelle.
All right, so this is a big deal, but keeping in mind China is already Australia's biggest trading partner, and it buys almost a third of all Australian exports. And both countries are calling this historic, though. But how significant is this deal, really? How much of a boost will it give to both economies?
Well, as our minister said, this is the most liberalizing free trade agreement. That means a substantial reduction of tariff barrier and also the removal of some of the hidden barriers for investment. So immediately, the Chinese consumers will benefit from the conventional supply of beef, mutton, for example. The import of the mutton and beef used to have the 12% of the import tariff and 13% of the value-added tax. So, and with the removal of this, the Chinese consumers is going to benefit. Of course, the sellers from the Australian side will benefit in the meantime. And the Chinese export of the toys, from toys to manufactured goods like machineries and electronics, so they are going to see a substantial benefit out of this. And we estimate within the next year, so the $1 billion will be saved from the removal of the tariff. So there's, of course, a lot more that is lying ahead.
Well, it is a deal that has been 10 years in the making. Now, during that time, China's GDP has gone from double digits, around 11% in 2005, to around 7% now. And Australia's commodity sector, particularly its mining sector, has been hit by the growth slowdown in China. Is this deal still as big a boost for Australia, keeping in mind China's contraction?
Well, definitely, I think the contraction is really a global problem, but China's growth is still maintained at a relatively rapid pace at 7%. And now China is also upgrading its industrial technology, and we are also looking forward to have the infrastructure projects along the One Belt and One Road. So therefore, we are discovering new markets to further digest the Chinese the manufacturing capacity, and definitely we need more the raw material input from Australia.
Well, Australians, they're going to benefit as well, of course. For starters, they'll be paying less for cars and clothes and electronics. The 5% tariff on Chinese manufactured products will be lifted. So Chinese companies will be selling more. Which ones in particular do you think are poised to really benefit?
Well, right now, more than 60% of the say car parts, and machineries, and toys, electronic products are enjoying the benefit in Australia, and we're going to see more of that. And that, on the other hand, can also reciprocate the Australian side. For example, when we export garments and the wool wares, so we import more wools from Australia. And also that we're not only going to see the singular form of export, but rather we are going to see more deepened level of cooperation in terms of joint venture, in terms of greenfield operation, and we are going to see more of the job opportunities actually from both sides by the new establishment and increased business volume.
But surely there could also be some losers in this equation. You're going to have more than 85% of Australian exported goods becoming tariff-free, going up to 95%. And this will be significant, like we mentioned, beef, dairy, wine, seafood, Australian manufactured goods ranging from pharmaceuticals to car engines will also get some tariff cuts. Isn't this going to hurt some of China's domestic players?
Yes, we already have gathered a number of resistance, particularly from the farming industry, where it is still very fragile and the organizational skill and technological level are not up to speed as compared to our partners from Australia. However, we also see a big hope. So in the short term, yes, it is quite a challenge, but in the long while, that can really push the China, the agricultural industry, aquatic industry, animal husbandry to have a major turnaround. So without the pressure from a competitor, you don't feel the urge for it. So actually over the past, over the past few years experience, yes.
So competition will be a good thing here. And I want to quickly talk about things beyond the beef, beyond the products. Let's talk about the opportunities that this deal brings to the service sector.
Yes, I think now, because that's a long battle to negotiate the openness of the third sector or the service sector. Right now, we can also see a big potential because we see that Australian firms can really set up 100% equity position in tourism service, in legal service, and also in soliciting more of the Chinese students to study Australia. And I think more importantly is the further openness of the financial sector, where more of the qualified foreign investors program is being rolled out and enlarged for Australian firms. And the RMB swapping center will also be widened. So that can really bring a different level of the freedom and more transparency of the service sector. But in the meantime, reciprocally, the Chinese part is also going to enjoy more on the service sector's liberalization, because we also have the similar service
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there. Certainly a game changer. Thank you so much, Liu Baocheng, founder and director of the Center for International Business Ethics at the University of International Business and Economics. All right, coming up.